Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play episode. Today we're going to solve all our mining issues by building a whole cliffside village, fit with elevators to different Y levels, a quarry and so much more. And I think it's about time we do something like this because all of these projects are using up so much stone, so much iron, all of our resources. So I think it's time we get a proper solution to all these materials. And in between episodes, I've just brought around a few more fields and I have just done around here just a little forest. Nothing special, but it just makes this area feel so much more complete. I think before we get started with anything, we're going to put our two farms to use and restock on some firework rockets. And oh my days, our sugarcane farm has been working well. And even though my inventory's full, we'll still make as many fireworks as possible. But I think for the mining village, we're going to do it around here. I think we're going to bring out some cliffs, make some flat space, do a bit of terrain, a quarry maybe, creating space for plenty of villager houses, and mineshaft entrances. I think first of all we're going to create the terrain because right now, due to the steepness of this hill, it's going to be really difficult to build some houses. I think by looking at this place though, we need to just chop down a few of these trees first of all. Right, there we go. That's much better. We've got plenty of wood now and we've got a nice empty canvas to work on. I'm just going to dump that over here for now. So now, if we're starting with the terrain, we're going to need some resources. And I want to do a very similar design to what I've got going on here in terms of blockiness. However, instead of using moss, I think we're going to work our way up the concrete, terracotta, and coarse dirt. So we know the drill by now. We need to go find some resources. And I know for a fact we should have some from earlier episodes. That's a great start already. Even better. So we've got stone, andesite, a little bit of dirt. I know for a fact we'll have dirt somewhere else. And we've got some light grey concrete. So we need light grey terracotta and gravel so we can make coarse dirt. I think we'll fly straight over to the mesa to begin with. There we go. And I think we're just going to get mining.
A few moments later.
Right, that should do us plenty because bearing in mind we're only using it for colouring. And I want to say you can dye terracotta, but I can't remember, so we've grabbed it anyway. So now we just need to find a bit of gravel. Oh, there we go, that's convenient. And coarse dirt, we need a lot of coarse dirt, which means we need a lot of gravel. Aye, that should be enough for us. So we'll shove our terracotta in there. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of light grey dye from these flowers in hopes that I can dye this other terracotta. Okay, you can't. Well, great. But we just need to grab a bit of dirt and then we can convert it all into coarse dirt. And I know just where to find some dirt. There we go. You can always trust this area. So we should have all the basic resources we need now to do some cliffs. And I think we might start with a big one down here. Waterfall running down into there. Eventually, we'll blend this all back into the forest. We'll have a few additional cliffs, which will set us up nicely for our mine. Right. I think it's time we put these blocks to use. Alright, as you can see, we're making great progress, and I'm very happy with how this is looking. As you can see, unlike over there, where we've gone for a nice lush effect, we've kind of gone for a dirty vibe, and that's kind of to match just the working mines. I think the plan is now, I'm going to gather a few more materials, and I'm going to come up here, and I'll just finish off this area by finishing the terrain. And as you can see by my hotbar, I've got some saplings, so I will, whilst I'm at it, just replant some trees, and then we'll regroup and we'll sort this river out because it could just do with a bit of water. All right, there we go. We finished this area, which means we have now completed all the terrain. And I am getting sick of all these endermen. They just keep picking up me blocks. Really? It's going to look so much better when we've got houses, mine shafts, cranes, and we've exhausted all our materials and we put the rest back. So now we've got 4 empty shulker boxes ready to build a village. But first, actually, we need to deal with this waterfall. Right, as you can see, I've got some seagrass and some water buckets. So I'm just going to start by making an infinite water source, I think. And then we're just going to keep on placing all this water on every single block. Something like that. There we go. This is already starting to look good. We just need to keep on bringing it down. And that is looking awesome. I like that. So now we're just going to go in and quickly place some of our seagrass. Just here, there, and everywhere. Right, perfect. So now that we've got the terrain done, I'm going to go grab some wool and we're going to plan out where we want some buildings and some mine shafts. I'll grab some red wool for this. And I think we'll start around here. And let's thinking maybe like a little house down here. I think a little watchtower here could be cool. And then maybe we could have a bridge somewhere around here. We'll do another house here. I think I'm going to play one into the cliff over here. Get one here. Right, there we go. I don't want to do too many because I'm cautious. I want to leave plenty of space for things like cranes, mineshaft entrances, and much more. So I think now that we've got a few basic shapes, I think we're going to go grab our wood and we're going to get building, I think. Apart from I can't get through my door. Right, and I'm after deep slate and spruce, really. There we go. That's the shulker box I'm after. But we do need some deep slate, so I'm just going to grab a shulker box. And I would say bob to the mine, apart from we can't. Right, we're back, and I think we're just going to get digging down here for a bit, and I want cobbled deep slate, so I need to make sure I've got my fortune pickaxe out. Right, so we're back, and we've got all of our deep slate, we've got some more spruce logs, and I've just got a few mud brick walls. And I've got my oak over here, and by combining the materials I've got, I think we'll be able to do a few nice little houses, and then we'll be able to build proper mine shafts, which lead us directly to where we need to go. Let's grab our shulker boxes and let's head down here to do a quick trial with a little house. Right, so I think I'll start off with my oak logs. I'm thinking we'll add like a base support here, and then I'll grab some spruce and I'll do another outline. There we go. I'm thinking a super simple shape like that. Then I'll grab some mud walls and I'm just going to add them on each corner. Okay, nice, nice. I think if we're going to have a bridge here, we'll do like a door probably right about there. And I'm also going to put something there, which we can have another door. I'm just going to chuck a quick roof on it now. Right, nice. We're starting to get somewhere. We'll put our fence gates there. And we'll repair the barrel we accidentally broke. I mean, it's very simple, but it does the job. So I think we're just going to quickly come inside. And I think we're just going to do a quick interior. There we go. Much better. That's our first little house complete. And eventually we're going to link it all up with paths. Like I said, bridges. I think the plan is now we'll jump into a time lapse and we'll start cracking on with some of these buildings. And then we can come back together, we can do things like paths and the scaffolds, and then we can set up the quarry by doing the mine shafts and the cranes. So let me grab some more materials, and I think we're going to get started with this watchtower.
This is the song for you.
Alright, so we're back, and as you can see, it's looking very nice. We've got a fair few houses coming along, each with just very simple interiors, nothing special. And I've also, as you can see, positioned where I want to put each of my mine shafts. So for example, I'll have a mine shaft here, with elevators leading down to redstone level, this one to diamond level, and we've got iron down there, coal and gold. Before I touch the mine shafts, I think I'm just going to work on adding some paths and some scaffolding, just so you can get around this place easily. Because obviously, all these miners, they don't all have elytras. So I think we're just going to get some mud quickly. So craft all that into packed mud. And then we just need to grow this tree. There we go. So we just need to chop this down. And that's definitely plenty of jungle wood. So I just need to think whereabouts I want this path. So let's make some jungle slabs and some jungle stairs. And then let's think where we want to put this path. But obviously we need to link this bridge up. And I think I'll bring this down the whole way. And this is where I'll get my stairs. Perfect. We've got a path coming up this way. I'll connect it up here as well. And something like this going down here works. And as you can see, I've done something here because I'm thinking maybe we'll get like a little platform and our scaffolds going down to the mine shaft there. There we go. These paths alone just bring so much more to this place. I think what I want to do, I want to add some just scaffolds. Make it look more worked on. So it just means like building up simple ladders, things like that. So I have got some spruce left, which is good, and plenty of wood. If I just convert all this into sticks and then make plenty of fences and plenty of fence gates, then some slabs, and some trapdoors. We'll start with that. We'll build one together, and then I'll jump into a time lapse. I'm going to start by bringing this fence all the way up to my desired height, and I'll place me oh, no, I made pressure plates, not trapdoors. Oh my days. Let's try that again. Trapdoor there. And I think I'll end up bringing my trapdoor down, say this far maybe. And we'll wrap it around, connecting it to here. And then this thing needs some support. So we'll do fence pillar, another fence pillar. And then using fence gates, I'm going to just bring some beams across. There we go. Something like that's nice, but it looks so much better. There we go. So we're getting somewhere. And I've just got some ladders. And I'm just going to place them just so that I can walk along all of our scaffolding. And I think by having this scaffolding everywhere, it just makes it look a lot more worked on. But I've got the resources. We just need to build. There we go. I think this just looks so much better, and it adds just so much more detail to our cliffs. The final thing I want to do in terms of this is build a crane up here. Nothing special. Just a simple thing that pulleys down to maybe like a little mine shaft there. So here is how to build a medieval crane. First things first, we want to build the base wheel shape. Using our oak stairs and trapdoors, we're going to make a circular frame. We're then going to put a directional oak log in the middle, followed by connecting it with fences and fence gates. We then need to build the support. So I'm going to place a spruce slab, followed by a plank on the log, and then going to place another slab, followed by 2 more slabs. And then a final upward slab with a stair facing outwards, followed by 1 final diagonal slab. So I'm going to place a trapdoor on the stair, a trapdoor under this slab. I'm going to bring my stairs the whole way down, connecting with 2 more slabs, like so. Then I'm going to grab some signs and put them on the plank and this slab. And with the remainder of the signs, simply surround your top slab. And using your fences, feel free to build a simple support there. To add a little base, this is completely optional. But I'm just going to build a little platform out here. And then for the crane itself, we're just going to bring this fence the whole way down until whatever height you want. I'm going to surround it in trapdoors and close them all and finish it by putting 1 on the bottom. And there we go. We've got a nice medieval crane. So with the scaffolds and the crane being done, that means we've finished the main structures of the mining village. We now need to create the main reason we're building this mining village, and that is the mine shafts. Right, so for the mine shafts, I'm thinking a very simple design. Something like that. I think that's plenty and it does the job. I'm just going to dig a bit of a corridor as if it's actually leading somewhere. And I'll actually widen it up just 1 more. Right, I think we're getting somewhere. Like I said, it's just a very simple design. It's nothing fancy. We need to make a floor for this. That's a start. All right, nice, nice. I've just blended it in with a little gradient. There we go, little update. Just got a nice little cozy area. And as you can see, we've got 2 little holes in which we need to now dig down to the perfect redstone Y level. And that is Y minus 59. There we go. Y level minus 59. And then we just need to dig this whole side down as well. All right, we're back. And we've prepped 2 nice big holes. As you can see, we've got 1 for going up and 1 for coming down. So we now just need to deal with this water on this side specifically. Got my water. So now I just need to go to the bottom and kelp it all up. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't a part of the plan. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not playing hardcore. Right, let's try this again. And one thing I noticed whilst walking over here is we're definitely going to need to link this place up with the rest of the village. So I'm thinking we might utilize some of this space before we end the video. And just create like a little path or just something. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. Might try and MLG all the way down to the chest and place the water in time. No! Right, let's try that again. And I've just realized, I don't even know why I had to jump down and try and MLG. I could just swim down. Big brain moment. Right, we're okay. We're okay. And I won't be jumping down there again. There we go. Let's get that placed. And I've somehow managed to mess this up. Right, let's kelp this bad boy up. There we go. So we just need to destroy the kelp from the bottom. And thankfully, I've placed water down here now. And it works, which is always good. There we go. So we should be able to... There we go. So I think now the plan is I'm going to do this exact same style on each of my other mine shafts. Like my diamond, my gold, my iron. And then we're going to come back together and we're going to give this place some more life. So I'll start by maybe adding some pile of redstone in this one, for example. Redstone blocks. Diamonds in that one. And then we'll just add some like pots, some chests, just some stuff to make it more active. Well, this is not what I expected to stumble across, but I think what I want to do, I want to swoop in, get every single chest I can, and be as quick as possible without alerting the warden. So let's try this. And I'm just going to grab whatever I think looks pretty cool. Well, that's not good. So dark. Oh, Swift Sneak 3. I'll tell you that. That is definitely worth everything that's about to happen to me. Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Warden. 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 Oh my days. I don't like this. I do not like this. I've already died once this episode. I do not want to die again. And it's coming this way. Oh my gosh. I think let's just pretend we've never seen that and just continue quickly looting and then we can get out of here. Ooh. Silence armor trim. I'll say that. It is about time we spice up our costume. Now, I want to try hit up a few more chests before I have to get out of here. Without spawn another warden! Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh, oh, oh. I actually hate this place so much. New idea. I might get out of it and get back to building. I'm just going to dump what we found in here for now. And I will return to that later because I want to do something with that, definitely. But for now, we've got a couple more of these to build. Right, so we're back. And as you can see, we've done every single mine shaft. And as I mentioned earlier, all this place is missing now is a bit of decoration. So I think I'm going to grab some pots, chests and things from over there. And then we're going to dive into the mines and just get a bit of each resource. So we can put some redstone ore, some blocks, etc. So I'm thinking we'll just go and grab all of our street decorations. Alright, there we go. So we should have everything we need. And I'm not going to do any particular order to this. It just makes all the difference, I think. I don't want to overdo it. That's a key thing. And we're starting to get somewhere now. I think later on I will put a few trees around here as well. There we go. That makes all the difference. So now what I'm thinking is I'm going to do some work on the mine shafts. And by that, I mean I want to utilize what we've got. And I'm going to just start to get a bit of every resource. And I know I've already got bits back at home. So we'll go and grab them, and then we'll head to the mines and get a bit of everything. And then we can just do a few piles of the materials. Because, for example, outside the diamond mine, I'd love like a little pile of diamond blocks or diamond ore or something. Just as if it's actively being worked on. Right, so we're back, and we've put our mines to use. And we've got a few bits. Maybe not as much as I'd like, but I know for a fact that we've got some over here because I've already organized our iron and coal. So here's our iron and coal that I've prepared. And I would just like to find the rest of my valuables. And I'm certain actually they're still in the starter house. Here we go. So we've got more diamond, more gold, more iron, even more iron, a lot of gold, plenty of gold. And I think I'm going to save some of that gold in that chest because I'd like to do a beacon, like a little on and off one. So when I'm mining, I can switch it on. And I get haste. And before I forget, I'm just going to grab some materials which are in a similar color to each resource. And you'll see why very shortly. There we go. So we've got a bit of each. And that is so I can do things like half blocks, buttons, pressure plates, stuff like that. Just so I can get a bit more shape in my ores. Start by making a fair few redstone blocks. And I'll start with like a miniature pile here. With a mangrove slab there. Perfect. And then coming in here, we'll get a little bit of ore going on. We'll kind of make it hard to walk past a bit. And I'm actually just going to grab a few deep stone slabs just so I can shape them a little bit better. There we go. I'm liking this. So the final thing I want to do for redstone is a few buttons and a couple pressure plates just to further spread out what we've got going on. All right, there we go. That's redstone done. That's diamond done. That's gold, coal, and last but not least, we've got iron. So there we go. We're done. And this is really starting to come together nicely. But I think the final thing I want to do with this, because it's quite an empty space, so I'm thinking I might turn where we've got grass into like a little pond, maybe where they fish for food. And then we need to find somewhere for a beacon. And I'm thinking here is the perfect spot, really. Right, I think for the pond, I'm just going to grab my resources that I used for the lake. And that's my mud and seagrass, if I can find it, that is. There we go. And I've still got plenty of spruce over there, which is good. And I could just do with my beacon and my gold. Right, so I think we're just going to take this exact shape that we've got in grass and just mine a little hole here. And I might just grab some mossy cobble stairs or something afterwards just to smoothen this shape out a little more. And we just need to lower it down a few levels. And I'll do it layer by layer. I'm just going to use my mud. It's only going to be a very shallow pond. There we go. I think something like that's shallow enough. And I've just chucked on some mossy cobblestone stairs just to improve the shape a little bit. So now we need to fill this with water. There we go. I think that just makes a load of difference and it just fills a bit of space. So I'm now going to chuck just my bit of seagrass. Perfect. Right, so that's that done. And then for the beacon, I think I'm just going to pick a spot around here. And we'll dig a fair bit down. I think that's far enough. And then we just need to turn all this into our beacon. There we go. And then if we place our beacon and we'll put haste on that, that should mean this whole place will have haste no matter what mine I'm in now. So I think the final thing I want to do now is like a little switch so that this beam isn't always visible. And I simply need a sticky piston and a lever, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I know for a fact we've got slime balls somewhere. Right, there we go. So we've got our sticky piston, our block, our lever, and redstone. And you are about to watch some genius redstone. Well, let's think. If we want the block there, and we are going to have to cover this up with something, so I'll take some mossy stone bricks for now. Just pretend that's like that. Let's clear the canvas for the genius. Let's have a look. There we go. That works. But I don't know why that's not sticking. Oh, you're joking. Let's try it with grass. There we go. Oh, look at that. That is just gorgeous. Well, let's just patch this back up. And then we just need to build something here to hide this redstone. I'm thinking a statue. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day and I saw this really old post from Gold Robin. And it was just this pretty cool, like, villager statue with a crown. So I think I'm going to do something like that. So credit to Gold Robin. I'll leave a link down below. And let's build this statue. That is just beautiful. The final thing I need to do this episode is just link it up to the rest of the kingdom. So I'll just run a little path coming through here. I'll chop down some of these trees and connect it to probably around here. And then we might chuck some custom trees or just a bit of terrain. I'm not too sure. As you can see, I've had a bit of update and I got bored off camera and I've terraformed this whole area. I chopped down all the trees and I've just tidied it up to plan out where I want my path. And as you can see, we've done a few more custom trees, blending the forest in. Just means I know exactly where I want my path and it leads to potential future other projects. So now we need to turn this into a functional path which leads back down to the bridge. And then once we've done this path, we are done. Right, so I've assembled all the blocks I need for the path. And I'm going to start with my mud. And I've just thought, I forgot my jungle. And I want to make a mixture of stairs and slab. Perfect. And I think I'll start up here. And we're just going to bring some stairs down a little bit. And we'll chuck our mud in. Just keep bringing it along here. I'm not doing any strict pattern anymore. I'm just kind of freestyling it. And we can fill all this in. Right, we're getting somewhere. Some of this shape definitely needs a bit of a touch-up like, but... All right, there we go. That's looking nice. It links all the way back to the bridge. So now, I'm just going to chuck some slabs on and some stairs. Right, perfect. We're almost finished. We just need to chuck on our bit of colouring and then some path lighting. So let's grab our coarse dirt and mossy cobble. Right, that is looking so much better. I think there's just one final thing I want to do, and that's round here. Right, there we go. Can you spot the difference? For those of you that can't, well, I've built some custom trees. So that should mean we're finished with the place. Let's just take a look from afar. Oh my days, that does look good. We start off on our bridge and we come up along the path, up to the town where we've got a variety of different houses, each with their own speciality. For example, this one's bunk beds. We've got all of our mines, which lead to the designated Y levels. We've got a beacon which toggles, a crane, more houses. I'm very pleased with this. I think we've done a great job. And if you have got this far, I want you to comment mining away. But I think we're going to wrap it up there. In the next episode, we're going to start working on something up here. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.